Hi, friends. So, I wanted to tell you about something that I've kind of been playing with, and it's been really impactful and super, super helpful. And it's super simple. So, it's about two things: breathing and boundaries with our own thoughts. So, I call it Kamala Counting, trademark. So, I found myself in a space where I was having a lot of racing thoughts when I was trying to go to bed. And I was working on my meditative practice and like really focusing on my breath and counting. And I also recognized that I have a hard time counting anywhere past five. Keep in mind, I'm a fully grown adult. I know how to count high. However, I'm the most focused when I count to five. So my Kamala counting practice came up when I woke up in the middle of the night and I was restless and I had all these thoughts about worry and stress and blah blah blah. And so I did one of my strategies, which is schedule time on my calendar to worry about shit. So when I find myself in a space in the middle of the night when I'm stressed about this or that, or did I send this email, or did I come across wrong to this person, I just really want to give myself that space to worry about it, but not right then because I'm trying to sleep. So I'll open up my phone, go to my calendar, and schedule time for the next day, maybe at like whatever time is convenient. And I'll set it for 15 to 30 minutes. And it's called worry about shit. So once I set my worry about shit reminder, and if I'm back trying to sleep and I can't, I go to my Kamala counting. So the vibe is you breathe in and then you breathe out. And in your mind, you say one. And then you breathe in through your nose and out again. If through your mouth or through your nose, I just try to do it when I'm sleeping. So I usually just do it all through my nose. And then I say two. And then, it's basically meditation, but with like bad B vibes of like vice presidential authority. So I'd like to expand upon it a little bit more for you. So again, so you're laying there or sitting in the car or wherever it is that you find that you need some quiet brain time. And you breathe in and you breathe out. You say one in your mind. You do the same thing and you get to two. And then maybe all of a sudden you have the thought of like, did you send that email to that person? And you just gently look over at that thought and you say, we're counting. We're counting. And then you start over at one. Breathe in again. Exhale in your mind, one. And then you do two. And then maybe you have the other thought, or do you think aliens wear hats? Or any other thought that comes across your mind, which that's what thoughts do. They come across our minds, but we don't have to let them then drive the ship. So it comes across your mind and you just, you're like, we're counting, we're counting. And then repeat the process. And you'll find that you may have to correct yourself a few times and do the we're counting, but then you'll be able to just freely count to five and back down, and you'll find that your brain is a lot quieter because you've given that space to just focus. And again, there's no guilt, no story, no shame. We're just going back to our breath. And I have found it to be a really fun and easy way to do it. So um, I'd like to do uh, a practice with you if you'd like. Um, so let's say a minute together, okay? So get yourself kind of in a comfortable position, whether it be seated or laying down, and gently close your eyes or soften your gaze, and we'll just breathe and count our breath. And if something pops in, you know what to say. If you need to say it out loud, say it out loud to start. If it's better in your head, it's better in your head. Either way is better. So let's go ahead and start with our breath. Inhale, exhale. And in our mind or out loud, 1. Inhale, exhale. And in our mind or out loud again, 2. Inhale. I just had a thought about leaves. We're counting. Back to 1. 1. So you get the idea, right? It's count until we have our intrusive thought or something that isn't welcome in the space that we have right now. And then we just say, we're counting. Thank you. Okay. Kind of in a condescending way, but also in a very authoritative way, right? Because we are the captain. It's us. No one else is the captain. It's us. So it really simplifies meditation to its most elemental form, breath and awareness. And we're counting comes without judgment. It's just redirection. And it's a gentle boundary of uh, uh, we're counting, we're counting. And it helps build emotional neutrality with your thoughts because we are not our thoughts. We're just counting. So it adds a little structure and sass, which helps cut through the spiraling and makes it a little bit more, I don't know, more fun. It's been weirdly clarifying for me. It's simple, it's kind, and it doesn't let me spiral. And you can do this anywhere, like I said, in the shower, in your bed, in a meeting, in your mind, of course. And, driving, if I didn't say that already, uh, walking, working out, any place that you find yourself excessively thinking and you're really just trying to focus on your breath, you can always utilize it. So, my call to action for you is to just try this for a few days. Notice what happens when you bring that little boundary into your brain. And if you end up doing it, please let me know. Drop a comment with your favorite thought interruption. And let's make a list of thoughts that got Kamala'd. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I'm Leah Rose Tingren. And like, subscribe, and follow. I'm also on the other socials except for Twitter. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you. I hope you all have a super magnificent